go for my online business journey from being a broke university student right here, as you can see, being poor, to my partners and I at our best month doing $37,000 per month and our clients with $585,000 in revenue at just 6 months at barely. Boys, I'm 19 and here's all the proof with the stripes and the active campaigns, ad ROAS, Ys and all that shit. And that allowed us to travel all over the world, right? And all these different things right here. You can check it out. Bali, Japan, Vietnam, Philippines. But also, here's the thing, right? Shoot back to when I was 14 years old from when I was 252 freaking pounds, dude, and 14 kilograms. And you know you're fucking fat when like your mic doesn't even work. And let's see if I could click over here to this shit. And I'm just doing like mukbangs and I'm eating ramen noodles and I'm fat. And right? Okay. And anyway, clicking back there to now me at age 19, 157 pounds and 71 kilograms. So there's a certain reason why I'm telling you about this, okay? So hold with me here. From 7th to 12th grade. Then here, I went to something called Oxford Academy. It's called a magnet school. It's a school that you have to test to get into, where it's the 4th best school in California and the 22nd best school in all of the United States. And with testing, right? The main test that you have to get into college to in the fucking USA is called the SAT, right? I got a 1490 on that, the top 98 percentile of the entire United States, right over here. And after post-graduation, I outcompeted everybody in my class. I got top 4% of my class and I went into UCLA. Here's the proof over here. Congratulations. And then right there. And then I went for 2 weeks and I hit 10K per month, so I freaking dropped out. But here is the thing, right? 37K, ha 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 ha. That is fucking nothing, boys, because the top people in this info space is what we call it, right? And the VC tech space, I've watched everything from them. Sam Ovens, Alex Hormozi, all these freaking different videos that you see here, like Sam Ovens, Alex Hormozi, Charlie Morgan over down here, and all the freaking numbers here that they make, right? Just give a face to name, Charlie Morgan, here's that. Here's Alex Hormozi, and then here is Sam Ovens, and then Layla Hormozi, obviously, the GO, right? All these different podcasts with all these different revenue numbers, and here is why I said all this, right? It's because for the online business journey, obviously, 37K per month, duh, money, right? That's what you're here for. But in academia, right? Today, here's the thing, right? I'm not just teaching you concepts that are going to be inside of business, okay? Today, I'm teaching you also biology, chemistry, mathematics, physics, and how they all go in and then apply to business, right? And therefore, my academic background, it also proves to a degree that I can speak on those matters. And why I'm going to speak about those matters, I'll explain in just a second, right? But here's the thing, right? The 252 pounds to 157 pounds, that shows the mental shift that I had and the identity that I had to change in my life, the beliefs that I had to change in order to get to this point that I want to get to construct and understand, for me to truly understand this billionaire's mind and why I'm credible to explain it to you. And obviously the people that have studied, because they have the same exact mind, the building of the mind that I've built in my mind, right? And here's the thing, right? Oftentimes you guys might think, okay, well, the billionaire mindset, why the fuck is it important, right? Oftentimes I think you must have fell in this trap where you had this mental masturbation phase where you got into looking into too many mindset things, and therefore you shifted into an aspect of taking a lot of action, which is great, but here's the thing, right? And that might have led you to like hate learning, right? And so especially this mindset stuff, a lot of you guys might have objections on learning it, but here's the thing. Think about it, right? If you had something that could literally solve all of the problems that you had right now, right? If you could literally never stress about your entire business again, right? All of these other benefits, or like if you have a problem, think it'll get solved, and all these different things, right? If you could put 1 hour of work in, get 10, 100, 1,000 hours, right? Would you learn this concept? Obviously, right? And so that is what the billionaire's mind is. This 5-stack layer mind, what I call the billionaire's mind, MDTFP mind. And I'll explain what these mean, right? But that is what I mean when I explain to you this thing. Right? And so for you, who is maybe a growth operator, a coach or a consultant, an agency owner, whoever, even like literally any online business owner, any freaking business owner, dude, right? Think about it. If you want to succeed in your business, what is it? You're running your business, right? And it's fundamentally, that is how you succeed in a game. It's game theory. It's you succeeding in competition, being whether the best sports person, the best violinist, best doctor, best lawyer, whatever. There is a trend to these successful people and the fundamental building blocks that are occurring in their mind. And you have to understand that people like Charlie Morgan, Alex Hormozi, Layla Hormozi, all these top billionaires, they've built that in their mind. And today, I want to distill it into 5 categories in your mind, and this model that I want to show you, and that honestly I've fucking stolen from Sam Ovens, but I've built in different things within it, right? And so here it is, the 5-layer billionaire's mind. Number 1, business tools and processes. Number 2, business disciplines. Number 3, business principles. Number 4, mental cognition. And number 5, mental awareness. And today I want to break that down for you, starting with business tools and processes, right? And so fundamentally, you already understand this stuff to a certain extent. You see it, but you don't see it. Okay, because you think that Go High Level, you using Go High Level, or using fucking Facebook ads, or using Notion, Google Suite, right? Photoshop, CapCut, that is all your business. That you think is your skill. That's not what it really is, right? Using Zoom for sales, using Google Meets, Active Campaign if you're a salesperson, right? If you are fucking growth operator and you're using School, right? Or you're using Zoom, that is not what you really have, because fundamentally afterwards, you have what is called the process, right? The process that then mitigates into the tool, which then puts out your system, the actual output of your work, right? And so here are some processes that you, right, you as an individual might utilize. So for instance, if you're in the YouTube space, then use ideation, title, thumbnail, scripting, editing, right? If you are a growth operator putting out outreach, then you're doing, you're going on the fucking, Instagram, and then you're going and first looking for different leads, then lead generating, then from the lead generation, you're sending out these DMs and you're doing that. That is your mental process. There's a difference between the actual process that occurs and then the tool that you utilize your process in. So for instance, it's like as if the process is the person, plus then the car is the tool, right? The vehicle is the tool that you're then going and getting the output of, okay? This is a separate analogy to, the identity analogy. But anyway, then in terms of the product, here's like a certain processes and systems that you might implement, right? But from there, then you have the understanding of business disciplines, right? Marketing in terms of paid ads, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google SEO, right? Organic in terms of all these different disciplines that you understand, right? Then within specifically Instagram DMs, right? The disciplines, the fundamental building blocks around that you must understand are like, all right, in Instagram DMs, let's say you're a growth operator outreaching, then you are, like you understand from, okay, be human on the Instagram DMs, right? It's a human platform. Provide value on Instagram DMs when you're outreaching, right? To get the other creator on a call, right? Close for the call, not the sale, right, on this outreaching process. But this is not all of it, right? And then once again, like if you're a salesperson or if you're a high ticket closer, right, then you do like, you understand that you must influence others on the sales call, or belief rewiring in the sales call, building rapport, different things like that. But that is not it. That is not all of it, right? And once again, if you're on these different mediums, then that is what you understand. But then there's fundamentally underneath that, the business principles. And these next three layers, these are the things that you don't understand yet. And if you, once you do really fucking unlock this, your mind changes. What you understand, how you see your business, how you see the fucking entire world, it changes. Okay? So let me explain it to you a bit and then I'll draw it really well out. Starting with understanding, right? First principles thinking versus anecdotal thinking. Then I'll go into all of these different things and why understanding even like science, math, history, law, business, and how we can distill that information into business, right? And so first, that must be explained with me talking about first principles thinking versus anecdotal thinking, right? So first principles thinking is understanding things from fundamental truth, right? Because in business, this is how it works, right? You go around the world, and big credit to Charlie Morgan for this, right? You go around the world, and all you see is darkness. In business, if you want to be true, mathematically true, right? We know that 1 + 1 always equals 2, right? And then for you, you want to go about your business in the same exact way. You want to make sure that 1 + 1 always equals 2 in your business. Because for instance, a lot of people, they go about life and they're like, all right, this is what I've seen work. This is what the anecdotes, the stories that I've seen in my life work and I've seen in business work. No, we want to make sure that 1 + 1 equals 2 because some people might have seen that 1 + 1 equals 3. So for instance, let me give you a really, really good intangible example of this and then you'll be able to truly see it, right? So let's say there was a guy who was looking at this painting and he was like, yo, the painting is red. The painting is red, right? And there's this guy who was looking at this painting and he's like, no, the painting is fucking green, dog. It's green. They're fighting. And they're fighting and they're fighting. And this guy is saying that the painting, where's my big ass face, is blue. Right? He's like, bro, why is the painting is blue? When in reality, here's the thing, right? This guy had red glasses on, this guy had blue glasses on, and then this guy had green glasses on, right? And in reality, the painting was fucking white or black or whatever color, right? And so the reality here is that none of these guys saw the painting as what it was because they saw from their sunglasses, or i.e. the anecdotes that they've seen in their life. So for instance, this is somebody saying, nah, Facebook ads doesn't work, nah, Instagram outreach doesn't work, nah, email outreach doesn't work, when in reality, the truth is all of them worked. Because in the world, don't you think, right? Somebody in the world is succeeding with Facebook ads. Does that not mean that Facebook ads does work to a certain extent? Does that not mean email outreach works, right? Does that not mean Instagram outreach works, right? So all of these guys are seeing from their anecdotes, right? And this reality occurs because of binary versus spectrum thinking, but I'll explain that later, right? But fundamentally then, that means that we have to then realize and recognize from first principle truths, things that are actually true in life, and then think upwards. And how we can find these things that are true, right? Because now you're asking, like, Tim, how do I figure out then what is true, what is not? How do I actually figure that out? That is where these fundamental disciplines in the world comes from, right? Because everything in the world, right, it all ends up rooting down in things like mathematics. I had a silence when I said mathematics. Mathematics, right? Science, history, law, right? And we could study what is true from those disciplines and then reverse engineer upwards how to implement those first principles into our business, right? So I'll talk about some first principle examples down here, but I'll show you the disciplines first and what you need to go study. Once again, big credit to Charlie Morgan for this, right? Things like within science, there's physics, biology, chemistry, psychology, and sociology, and a lot more sciences, then virology, oncology, all these different things, mathematics, algebra, calculus, statistics, right? In history, all these different things. Look at these, study these disciplines, and then look at what is true from those disciplines, then implement those into your business. So right now, I will do that exactly for you. So for instance, in science, in the discipline of chemistry, there's this concept called entropy, right? And entropy, it is the concept that always things are moving towards being fucked up or being unorganized, right? So for instance, this chocolate bar that I just ate, right? The paper is naturally moving towards this crumbled state, not the state of cleanliness. When I crumble it, right, in the world, do things automatically go to being straight? No, it gets crumbled and it gets messed up, right? Even in this room, right, everything here is all messed up, right? If I do not go in there and then fix it up, right? Even this water bottle, the entropy around the water bottle here, all the water droplets are all messed up, right? So all these examples, then that's a first principle, right? Entropy. And the sign for that is just actually no, it's delta, but different anyway, right? So then we could then apply those first principle concepts, what is always true that we understand in the world and the universe, then into business, right? And we can understand things like funnels, right? So in funnels, there is a certain process that is always going in, and even the business everywhere, right? And the thing is, for you, maybe you're a growth operator who is starting and doing outreaching right now, right? And so your outreaching funnel, and by the way, outreaching is a funnel. If you don't know what I mean specifically by that, go check out this video right here, right? But anyway, outreaching in a funnel, right? In a funnel, things are always going towards this entropy, right? And so let's say over here, you're outreaching first to the creator, you're lead generating. Then from there, you are sending the first message. Then you are raising them up further in the DMs, and then you're doing, and then you're closing actually for the call, right? And so that process right there, you have to re-optimize every single little thing here. And the thing is, since we understand that things are always moving towards getting fucked up, we have to be like, okay, well, if the things are getting fucked up, so for instance, that parallel in the business world will be, in outreaching, everyone is always consistently competing. There are always other growth operators, other growth operators outreaching against you. And this other growth operator changing his script to be better, right? And so the thing is, then you have to consistently re-optimize and refix your funnel so that's better and better and better, right? And so that is why you have to fix that thing, because of the concept of entropy, then feeding into this. So now you can understand why down here, and then it feeds, and like now you actually get the fundamental principle behind why that is. Number one, so that you could then explain it to others. Number two, so that then you could apply that first principle then to other mediums in the world, right? Into maybe the funnel getting fucked up for your other creator, or maybe your entire business always going towards that entropy. Therefore, you must organize it with systems and with other clients and with managing, right? And SOPs and different things like that to keep things towards organizations, right? Even chemical reactions, and that first principle is systems thinking, which I'll explain real soon, right? But even within physics, this is a great one. Oh my God. So the physics, within physics, there's this concept of energy, okay? And it is saying that energy is finite. I'm not 100% sure if this is a physics concept, but yeah, they definitely do use this in physics, right? And the concept is there is finite energy in the world in one object in an instance. Therefore, what must occur is that that energy is it must move and be focused towards one thing, right? Because you don't have fucking infinite. And so, for instance, let's say you already understand this, right? So, for instance, let's say you've tried like multiple different business models, right? Think about it like this, right? You probably tried dropshipping, SMA, fucking affiliate marketing, all these different things, right? And so can you do dropshipping? Can you do clothing brand? Can you do SMA? Can you do affiliate marketing? Can you do all these different things at once, at the same time? No. Right? Why? Because you have finite energy. You do not have, you can't work 24 hours. You can't work more than 24 hours in a day. Time is your preventer, right? And so this rule then applies in the same exact thing where no, it's not just the different business models, but like the different things in your business that you're trying. So for instance, a lot of people, they try to do, let's say your growth operator is trying to outreach. You do Instagram outreach. Then you also do TikTok outreach, right? Then you also do like email outreach. Then you also you try all these different things, right? And even on top of this, right, this is just outreach, and like outreach links these three things, right? And then even on top of this, you are trying to learn, and then whilst you're learning, you're trying to learn about funnels, and you're trying to learn about how to build a better product, right? Like a school, or all these different things, right, for your creator, right, to help them fulfill, and you're trying to learn sales, and you're trying to learn all these different things at the same exact time, and this is a lack of focus. This is because you can't do this because you don't have that much energy, whereas if you focused all, let's say just on Instagram outreach, right, and you just kept outreaching, even though it's boring, do the same exact fucking thing consistently to all these different creators, don't you think that you will be able to find that creator, your first creator, and sign your first creator in the fastest way, right? And so that is what I mean by hyper-focusing on this rule of energy, and that's why like this, you can't do this. That's why if you're doing this right now, you're failing, whereas you are succeeding if you're doing this, and this is a true rule, and so that then you understand why you're failing. And so why it's so important to know these first principle fundamental rules is because you can then understand why you're failing. And once you understand why you're failing, then you're like, oh, that's another spot. There's another fucking, where's it? That's another sunglass, right, that you take off. Now you know more, and you are closer and closer and closer to the truth of what is truly objective. Right? Because we want to know that 1 + 1 = 2, and in your business, you're doing 1 + 1 = 3 or 7 or 5. Okay? And so this also, like, this will remove your shiny object syndrome if you have that, because you understand now that you can't try all these different business models at once. You have to only try one. And you can apply this, right, not only to outreaching, but you can apply this later on in your business as you focus in little mediums and specific things and one little things in your business, whatever you go about doing it with, right? In mathematics, oh my gosh, so many, right? In algebra, there's like mathematical equations, which the first principle fundamental of that is systems thinking, right? And really quickly, I'm going to explain systems thinking because it's so important. And right now, like, as I'm doing this, right, why this is so damn important for you to understand is because I'm showing you what's inside my mind. And if you understand what is inside my mind, you'll be able to emulate the results that I have. Because you are not succeeding right now, or if you are, and if you want to succeed more, it's because you don't have the right mind to do it. You don't, there's something different between me and you in your head. Okay, and so if you can see within my head, which I'm literally giving you an entire view of what's inside my head, how it's literally built, then you're able to build that in your mind and also succeed like me, okay? So let's then go into the input situation, right? So I said that this is the fundamental principle behind the math equation, 1 + 1 = 2, or just overall mathematical equations where there is an input cause and effect situation, right? And so let's just use fucking 1 + 1 = 2, right? Or even on top of this, things like, let's see here, right? So let's say like even outreach, going back to outreach and growth operating outreach, right? I'll just tie all these to growth operating outreach because that's probably most of what you guys are watching me for, right? So growth operating outreach, right? You put in 50 DMs, right? There's a certain process that goes in, and this process is actually your outreaching funnel, which is, I lost it, over here. So let's, Jesus God, my face is fat. So let's go, and then we go boop up here, and then this is your outreaching funnel, right? That is the process that you occur, right, when you do the outreach. Then from there, right, there's then the output that you get, which is, let's say 30 of them respond, or sorry, 30, that's a lot, 30% of them respond, right? Which is whatever that number is, right? 50 times 0.3. And then you realize the feedback of it, and you're like, okay, maybe my first script was bad, or maybe my, the specific leads that I'm outreaching to are not as good. right? Then you switch that up through the feedback that you get, and then you put the input, and all this is inside of an environment, and that is what the sun represents, which is, let's say, just on Instagram, the markets of growth operators outreaching to different creators, right? And so why this is so fucking important is because then this, once again, as all first principles do, they apply to everything else in your life. So for instance, the inputs that you put in, maybe let's say you're trying to get healthier, right? You're trying to get skinnier, and you're trying to like eat better to fucking fix your mind so that you could put more effort towards your business, right? Then once you're putting in inputs, let's say you're eating like fucking, I don't know, like McDonald's, right? And KFC, then your input is shit. Right? Shit in, shit out. And so then the process, whatever, how goddamn genetically healthy you are, it doesn't matter because there is shit going inside your body. McDonald's, KFC. Right? And so then the output becomes you getting fatter and you getting lazier and your mind getting more fucked. And so then the feedback you recognize is, oh wait, maybe I shouldn't eat that. Or if you're not self-aware, which self-awareness I talk about down here in mental awareness, then you recognize that, oh wait, maybe I shouldn't be eating that, and then you fix that, right? And so this then applies to, think about it, just think about anything, bro. Think about this water, the input that goes in, goes out, and then comes out as piss, right? Think about, and literally, if you're like a coach or consultant, right, your entire funnel, right, and then you go Facebook ads, and they fall into, your VSL, and then like whatever, right? Your product, and then like this, right? And so there's like a funnel that occurs over here, in a system, right? A system of continuation that occurs over here, and then it loops and loops and loops, where the input is the leads that go in, and then the process is the funnel that they come through in your business, and then the output is, let's say, the money that occurs outside of your business, or even there's some micro funnels within micro funnels, or micro systems within micro systems, and things like that, right? And so that is why also, once again, like I just proved it right there, right? Another first principle applying to literally everything else in your life, okay? So this is why it's so goddamn important, please, to learn these first principles. Then moving on from there, like I said, even pattern recognition, things like this, I'm just going to list these out so that you could then research them and understand what these first principles are, and then learn them yourself, right? So within calculus, the concept of infinity, binary thinking versus spectrum thinking, within statistics, long-term thinking, normal distribution curve, like learn all these different things. I'm not gonna sit here and explain all these concepts because all of these concepts are massive. You have to consistently learn and know all of these, but I just want to list them out so that you have like a hit list of like, okay, here's A, B, C, D, hit list, like a fucking sniper, right? So you go snipe and like kill all these first principle concepts into your mind, kill them by learning them, okay? Within game theory, all these different things, within psychology, and I wish I added more, but unfortunately I did not have the time, right? Then I want to get to the next layer, which is mental cognition, okay? And so within mental cognition, this is the layer in which you process the first principles through. It exists at this, so there's like that first principle, business principles level. Let's see. Yeah, so there's this business principles level over here, right? Because this is where all these different concepts or first principles lie. You have a big database of them, right? And the mental cognition part is how you go about the mental frameworks of about how you go about processing or utilizing those first principles to express into your business, right? So the best analogy of that is as if the mental cognition is like the weapon and the first principles are like bullets, right? Are bullets that you have. And so this is like how good your weapon is. It doesn't fucking matter if your bullets are super fire. If you have like a shitty pistol, then it's not going to kill anybody, right? So that's what I sound like a murderer throughout this entire video, right? That's why it's very important to understand this mental cognition level. And so decision making is one of the biggest parts of it. And the first principle, the first principle of decision making is down here. Then that shoots up to problem solving, right? And I'll explain why these two concepts are so goddamn important in your life. Like literally not in a business, bro. Like everything, health, wealth, relationships, every single problem that you run into your life, well, obviously you can solve it with a skill set of problem solving, right? So let me explain that to you right now. So decision making is down here and problem solving is up here. Okay, so, and then all of this, I guess, would be under the umbrella of critical thinking, right? So if you want to succeed in life, right, succeed in business, then fundamentally you are trying to attack a problem, right? And even deeper than that, what is a problem? A problem is a multiple build, is a makeup of multiple decisions you must make. Therefore, problems don't actually exist in your life, bro. If you look at it, if you look at every single problem in your life, fundamentally, all of those are just decisions, multiple sets of decisions that you have to make, then to go and re-execute and solve your problem. Problems only exist out of emotion, about feeling like those decisions are problems and defining it and labeling it as a problem. And I just explained like a lot of different concepts there, like labeling, even I kind of got into binary versus spectrum thinking there, and so I will explain those real soon, right? But be patient with me here. And so once again, then understanding now that problems don't actually exist in your life and they're just decisions. I'm gonna stand up because I feel like a fucking, I don't even know, right? Then we have to understand how to make decisions in the first place, right? And so decision making, that's a whole another concept, dude. And what I can recommend is How to Make Decisions by Sam Ovens, that video, right? And that really perfectly covers it, right? But I just wanted to have you aware of this mental framework right here of seeing it in this way, right? I want to show you inside my mind so you could see it like me. And then once you see it like me, then you could fill in the dots of where to learn, so that you could so that now you see it like me, and then from there you could fill in the gaps of knowledge, right? Because it's how you then see it, and then the knowledge that you fill into it, and that's part of Bloom's taxonomy, how to learn, and I'll explain that really soon by Justin Sung. But anyway, right? So that is that. And then once again, problem solving, as I explained it, these are one and the same, but it's just a multiplication of those, right? And then within prioritization, oh my God, dude, this is such a big one these days, bro. Because people these days, right, you go around life and you don't know what to do. Because this is how a lot of people in business, they go about it, right? You have millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of different things that you can do in your business. You literally have infinite. And there's also why you need to understand the concept of infinity, which is up here, but I didn't get the chance to explain it. Towards the end of this video, I might just go and like fucking just ram through and explain a lot of these. But anyway, right? So you have infinite, right? Infinite things that you can do in your business right now. Literally infinite, right? But once again, utilizing, right, that energy rule, you cannot do all of them. You can't, because you don't have infinite energy, right? And so then you must apply the skill set, the mental framework of what is called prioritization. Things like structuring and organizing, resource allocation, right? Forecasting your business. Forecasting is a terminology of, it's like kind of the weather shit, but like, it's a very big word and like a massive, concept that then you go and apply into planning and scheduling, right? And so all of these different things, it's a skill set that you learn to pick which line to go through and which one to hyper focus on. And so this is also something hyper important, and how you utilize this, you have to build systems around it. You have to build systems of, okay, I understand that I can do this right now, but what is the decisions that I must make in order to go in and prioritize what I must do. I'm gonna try to explain it right now. All right, so basically, prioritization, how you go about doing it is looking at your business and understanding what your goal is. And so fundamentally, this comes down to decision making, because once again, decision making is actually problem solving, and decision making is also within prioritization. So it's like one and the same. This model that I created up here, you're just like adding another arm to prioritization, right? So within prioritization, prioritization is just decision making, right? So then we have to look at how to decision make, and part of that is the goal. You find the goal, and then you create your state now, and you analyze your state now within your skills, your resources, your time that you have, everything, right? And you actually look at this and you figure out what the steps are to go backwards into it, right? And so within this, right, you then figure out and prioritize. Okay, so for instance, let's say you're a growth operator starting to do outreach right now, right? For you, your goal is to find the first creator, but is that really the goal, right? It's like even deeper than this. So like, is that even the goal? Or is your goal to make money? Right? Or is that even your goal? Or is your goal to get life satisfaction? Or is your goal to solve and save your parents from like poverty? Or is even deeper your goal to figure out like the meaning of life, right? And you dig deeper and you dig deeper, and like this is how you actually not even like succeed in business, but like figure out your deepest life problems and you reverse engineer up, right? But this is all like super dark and deep and scary to do right now, because your biggest problems right now are money. right? Money, oh sorry, that's parents. Money up here, right? And so then we place that as a goal. Great, now we have the goal as money. I don't want to scare you too much by going this deep, right? Then your goal is money. Then you figure out, okay, how do I first get money? Is it to do consistent outreach? So then now your prioritization comes down to two different things, right? It comes down to outreach, which is to then sign the creator and therefore money, or, right, is it to learn, then to become fundamentally valuable, then to go and make money, right? And so this is another option that you can take. And so like, this is a decision that you must make between these two. Is it outreach or is it learning to then become valuable, to then go and then express that value to outreach, then to money? Right? And so actually, when you really look at it, like this is certain advice for certain types of you guys, because I cannot sit here and like understand all of your guys' full context. But a lot of what I see with you guys is that you guys are not even valuable because you haven't learned shit. And so then what you do is you keep trying to outreach and you try to want to make money because you think outreaching is going to get you that, but no. It's providing value to others that is going to make you that money. So this is the path that you must take rather. Right? But then it's the dependence of like having the self-awareness, and that's why I want to explain mental awareness next, of like when is the balance between are you valuable or is it, so then therefore now you could get into outreach, or are you not valuable yet and therefore you should keep learning. Right? And so there is the decision to make, and I'll explain some other mental frameworks in order to figure that out for yourself. Okay, but that is kind of how you prioritize, a bit of an example there. And then from there, there's things like perception and also systems thinking, as I already explained earlier. And finally, learning, right? So once again, at this level of mental cognition, I categorize learning in there, right? And what is learning fundamentally? Learning is you going in, right? You going in and... So here's the definition of Alex Ramosi that he gave for learning. Learning is fundamentally the process of you looking at the behaviors that you have now, and if you've inserted new knowledge, because there's a difference between taking in that knowledge and and learning it, the word of learning it, the concept of learning it, or there's the concept, or there's a process of you taking the knowledge and it like falling all over your fucking brain, right? And like you not learning it, right? And so how you measure that is by recognizing that you have gotten new knowledge, then your behavior changes to what it was before. Alex Ramosi's definition, the GOAT. But like, how do you do that? How do you actually behavior change to the degree that it will actually help you in your life? It's called Bloom's taxonomy. What you do it, and this not only helps you learn, but learn at a faster rate, okay? And so look at this here, but overall, I just want to touch upon this aspect and then this aspect, because I don't want to explain all these different things. If you want to really get a good concept of this, go to Justin Sung on YouTube. He's a learning coach, and okay, I'll just show it right now. So go to Justin Sung. And then go to right here. Go to his videos, go to most popular, and watch the 1, 2, 3. Watch the top 6 videos here. And if you're too lazy to, then you're not gonna get rich. Like, what the fuck? Go watch a cat video. Alex Becker reference. But anyway, right, you have this Bloom's taxonomy situation occurring, right? And so he explains it really in more depth, but then I'm going to explain it like roughly, right? So right now, when you insert information into your mind, you don't have this framework in your mind. Basically, for me, when I get information, what occurs is I have a Miro board in my mind. And when that information comes in, basically there's like a little robot that goes in and like, oh, what the fuck? I guess the robot loves you guys. But the robot takes the information and then it places it in the right place. And so right now, this is how my macro Miro board looks like, where it's in that layer of 5, right? In the layer of here, and here. And so when I learn first principles, I placed it here because I know it's part of mental cognition. But let's say when I learn something about CapCut, right? Let's say I go learn CapCut, then I'll place it right here. Right? Let's say I go learn about marketing, like a principle of some new type of principle that I know in marketing. I pretty much learned everything about marketing, but let's say I learned that, then I would place it right here, right? And so I have this, basically what I'm doing here though, is like I'm choosing to place it there, right? The robot in my mind is choosing to place it there. That is called when you have a subjective view of the world through the objective understanding that you've gotten of the world, then you subjectively place it in your mind. Therefore, it's not even create, but the evaluate level, right? You appraise, argue, defend, judge, select, support, value, critique, weigh the information that comes in your mind, then you place it through the objective analysis. For you guys right now, you don't really have this mind, number one, I would assume, and if you do, great. Build it out fucking more, and if you don't, great. Now you've gotten the path to get it from me, okay? So, then what occurs now is you would have to place it in those certain areas, right? But for you, oftentimes what occurs is you have a concept here, and you have a concept here, and you have a concept here, and like you cannot connect them. You cannot connect them. And so, pyramid. So then, right, like you would want to make sure that this info comes in and it connects to your mind, right? And it starts like connecting all together. And this connection comes through having, number one, a framework for it. And then number two, a framework then for processing the information, which is at the mental cognition level. And then it filters it, and then it can place it in certain areas in your mind. So my filter, so for instance, is MSP. Which is marketing, sales, product, and operations. And within operations, I'm literally exposing my mind to you guys. So really, really take this in, because this is like really this is the one thing, if there's like really main one thing that shifted me from probably like that 20K level to like 37K, and like most likely we're probably gonna hit $1 million per month this year, right? With our business, right? This is the reason why I'm able to really confidently understand that, because I have this mental frameworks in my mind, right? So there's tech, and then there is HR here, and then there is finance here, and then there is also customer success. That's within O, and the marketing level, right? Then within like marketing, what is marketing, right? Marketing is getting the customer to foresee you, right? And so, I'll just like show it to you right here. So this is how my Notion looks, and I've organized it in that same exact level. So there's a thinking level, and there's marketing. Within marketing, there's market research, and all these, every single note that I've ever taken on market research, right? Then there's channels, then there's paid. The channels come from the Alex Hormozi Core 4, the fucking GOAT. He was able to synthesize the first principles of the only 4 ways in the modern world for an online business or just any business overall to get traffic, which is paid ads or organic or cold. And then over here, there is referrals, but I didn't add that there because, to be honest, referrals is not really scalable. Therefore, I don't have notes on that, right? But then there's branding, which is a type of marketing, right? And then from there is the words database. These are actually there's like a separate thing. And these all the other marketing notes that I have here. And within here, these are the kind of dumps that I have, right? It's copywriting, it is direct response copywriting over here, and all these different things over here. And then within sales, there's a sales frameworks. And then within sales, I'll just give you this touch over here. There are all these mental frameworks that I have. Right here, I'll show you my resources. So this is how my sales brain works. And this is the chronology of the categories of sales that I have in my mind. And the process goes general, mindset, framework, speaking, setting, discovery, rapport, pitch, close, objections, and team. That's like the chronological process. You'll be able to fill those in there. And yeah, so that is within sales. And then within product, I really haven't built that out yet fully because, to be honest, I'm a marketer, right? But soon we'll understand within the mediums of products, and then once again within operations there is finance, and then all these different things inside of it. And for me personally, I haven't studied that fully yet, and so that is me saying that I still have a place to grow. But anyway, let's go back to the main thing, right? So we're back, right? And so that is me technically, right? Some other idiots, if they don't have this in their mind, they just have Facebook ads over here, right? And they're just holding it and they don't know what to do with it because it's not connected to an entire subjective view that they've placed it in, right? And so they'll be floating there, and they might put Facebook ads next to sales. And I see this shit in business, and I'm it pisses me off, right? And they put tax here, and it's tax is down here within finance, and no, Facebook ads is within here within marketing, and sales is obviously here within sales. Right, and sales calls. And so practice this. This is a really good practice to have where you have all these different concepts that you learn, place them on a fucking Miro board, please, and put MSPO and start dragging it and organizing it to where you think it should be. Right? And then you'll be able to be okay. And then your mind will start naturally doing that as you're consuming information, and therefore you'll be able to retain that information better. Okay? Great. And finally, at the level of mental awareness. So this, bro, I sound like I'm nutting. It's so important. Please, if you understand this, I'm getting so passionate about this because I I want every fucking human in the world to understand this. I'm so passionate about this. Like, this is the one thing I wish the school system did, I wish everybody did, which is taught people how to think. Because if people start knowing how to think, we'll all become a lot more valuable to each other, and we'll all be able to speak the same fucking language. I wish my dad knew this shit, so I could speak to them at the same level. We cannot communicate as if we were understanding the same thing, because like literally I understand this. It's like in the Matrix, the difference of the Matrix, right? Where like you for maybe like you're running your business and you're speaking to parents and they just don't get it. Like if they got this, then they would get it. That's the great thing about this, okay? So let me explain to you, and like maybe this will actually rebuild like your relationship with your parents or like anybody that they don't understand online business of, because you're probably an online business person, right? So let's get to it, which is the layers first of the mind. So first of all, I want to roughly explain what mental awareness is, and then from there, I want to explain to you the categories that I have in my mind and how I've placed them, and then you'll be able to place them in your mind the same exact way equally, okay? So with mental awareness, there is the 5 layers of the human mind that really encapsulate the entire mental awareness level, okay? So there is you, then there is your beliefs. By the way, massive credit to Alex Becker for this. And there's your beliefs, there's you, there's your beliefs. Let me just draw this real quick. Boom! All right, so now we have this drawing here, which is you, right? You don't actually exist. I'm gonna start with this. You don't exist. You are fake, and in life, everyone is fake. No one actually exists in life. You are just this ball of nothing, okay? Because here's the thing, right? Think about it like this. In a video game, when you go about it, right? And let's say you go into Overwatch or fucking, I don't even know what, like Valorant, what are games that you guys play? Valorant, fucking Apex Legends, like Fortnite, all those different things, right? The game itself, right? The code, you don't actually exist, but like you put on a skin. You put on maybe the skin and you have like different attributes within the skin. Like let's say you have extra speed, let's say you have extra power, let's say you have all those different things, right? And that then becomes who you play in the game, right? But then fundamentally in the beginning, right? Are you anything? No. And so like even when you're born as a fucking baby, do you have anything? Are you anything? Like, did you know Facebook ads? Did you know, like even I existed, Tim Yoon, like, did you know what a tree was? What the fuck this water bottle, like you understand this is a water bottle, right? But like you would not have understood this when you were born, when you were nothing, right? So therefore you don't actually exist. And so what that means then, it's a like nihilistic thing, but it's also an amazing thing. Because here's the thing, you then can become anything that you want. You can shift that to absolutely anything, right? And how you shift that is through your beliefs, your thoughts, emotions, and environments. And this is why this is so goddamn important. So let me explain to you beliefs first, and then your emotions and thoughts, and like some tools on how you can rewire this yourself, okay? Beginning with self-awareness, right? And so self-awareness, speaking of objective reality, I actually already explained this to a bit, right? You already understand this to an extent because I explained to you this sunglass analogy, right? Because what I was showing to you here was that the black painting or like the white painting, that was objective reality. And red, green, and blue, that was subjective reality, right? And so what that then means, right, is that objective reality, that concept that you now understand of first principles, you can then apply that to this circle right here of you looking at it and being like, all right, in the world, there is this objective reality, and you must start approaching that, slowly going towards that, and flying away from the beliefs that you have, the thoughts that you have, and the emotions that you have, and all your beliefs should then align with those first principles, because literally that's fucking truth, right? It's literally 1 + 1 = 2. Okay, so then we then must understand, right, like what the fuck are beliefs and what are identity and what is all those different things, right? So beliefs, I'll explain to you how beliefs are formed and then how they go about coming together and like whatnot, right? So let's say I went to space, right? I went to space, and let's say, so this is the fucking moon. I should stop saying the F word. And let's say there is an alien over here, right? There's an alien like wee woo wee woo, and like I went to space and like I saw it, right? I saw, I'm like, holy shit, aliens are real. I now believe that. That is now my truth. But let's say I was in a dream, right? Let's say this was actually a dream, right? And this dream did not exist. But here's the thing, I thought that it was real, right? Let's say I thought the dream was actually my reality. And so let's say when I woke up, I'm like, holy shit, aliens are real, and I believe that. Because why? That experience I said it right there, right? That belief came from an experience. I experienced it. And experiences, if we break down the fundamentals of experiences, right, they're fundamentally the 5 senses that we have, the thoughts that we have during the experience, and the emotions that we have. And these words, like, they mean to you something right now, but like you don't really understand the weight of what thoughts, emotions, and, I mean, the 5 senses are just 5 senses, right? But like you don't really understand the weight of these. So I'll explain this to you in 1 second, because guess what? These are the same exact emotions and thoughts that I have over here. And credit to no one for this. I kind of came up with this myself, right? But here's the thing, right? So you have these experiences and whatnot, right? And so then this creates the belief that you have, right? But let's say, right, I go to Sally on the other let's say I go to school and I talk to Sally, right? And I go to Sally, I'm like, Sally, aliens are real. And I go to the entire school, like I get up on stage, I'm like, aliens are real, guys, aliens are real. And like no one believes me, right? And because they haven't had that experience, they don't know, or like they haven't had that experience. And for me, I'm bullshitting. I'm not actually like to me, it's my truth. It's true, but it's not actually true because that's just what I experienced. All right. And so we go about life experiencing a lot of these things and they don't become true. So for instance, probably mindsets that you have rewired are mindsets about money, right? Because let's say you used to be poor, right? Let's say you used to be poor, right? And since you used to be poor, you used to believe, and these are not real, but like you used to have these, you probably had these beliefs that you had to fix in your mind. You had to fucking beat up and fix in your mind, right? Things like money doesn't grow on trees. Money is hard to find. Outreaching is hard. Business is hard. I don't want to get like, I mean, maybe you never had, I don't want to get rich, but you had these beliefs. Right? Money's hard to get. I can't make money in my generation. My entire family has this loop of not making money. Like all these different beliefs if you were poor, right? But you fought through these and you beat them. You beat them. But like you beat them through probably brute force, other things like that, right? But now I'm going to give you a system to fix this, number one. But like I'm also explaining this, using this as an analogy, right? But let's say you beat them, right? But like these, why do they come? Like let's analyze why they came, right? Whoa, that sounds weird. But like, why they came was because you saw this experience in your life. Your parents told you, hey, money doesn't grow on trees, whatever. And like, you would maybe see your mom and like, she would sit there and she'd be like, oh my God, I'm so worried about my bills. I'm so concerned. And like that, affirmed these beliefs in you. Like you started adding more experiences to you. Charlie Morgan, credit to Charlie Morgan for this, but like he did a great example or great analogy of this where like it's a weight, it's a scale in your mind, right? And you have a lot of stones over here. Every single time that you have an experience affirming that belief, right? It just keeps adding stones and adding stones and adding stones over here, right? And now you believe that money does not grow on trees. Whereas when you probably fix this and rewire this in your mind, you start adding stones of like, no, and like you watch YouTube, right? Seeing me at 19 and I showed you this shit, right? This is another stone towards the positivity that, hey, money is actually possible. Hey, I can actually make this, right? And you just keep adding and adding and adding these stones here until this shit outweighs this, number one. And number two, you recognize that these stones were fake. That your parents did not have the actual understanding that, hey, money was fake, or sorry, money was hard to get. And like you recognize in the new age through fundamental truths that money is actually easy. And so like you add more and more until this becomes your new reality. Right? And so this then explains beliefs and how they are built, but like how do we then unwire them, right? But even before we get into the unwiring process, I'm going to tie this belief concept to the identity concept of me explaining you right this second, right? And so fundamentally, what is your identity? Your identity, let's say like the identity of me. Okay, so for instance, I'll give you a very tangible example of this before, right? So previously, I believed, right, that I had ADHD. So I identified with this label. And I'll explain what labels are in a bit in the language portion of this, right? But I used to identify with this. I thought that I had ADHD because here's the thing. Here's what I did, right? I used to think, okay, I have ADHD and ADHD good. You know why? I tied myself to this label because previously I would see like, I typed in like ADHD and this was from, who's the guy Who's the guy, dude? Healthy Gamer. That's the guy. Healthy Gamer. This self-help guru. If you know him, great. If you don't, then he talks a lot about ADHD, right? But I would watch a lot of his YouTube videos, and his YouTube videos resonate with me so fucking hard, dude. Because he was talking about how, if you have ADHD, then you're this very distracted person. Not distracted person. Like you're very creative. You're very passionate. You're very, you can hyper focus for a very long amount of time. So these are the pros. Right, the pros that I saw with this identity. I was like, great, I am all these different things. I analyze and I recognize these things in my life, right? But then I also saw the cons of this, right? But he was like saying, but on the other end of the spectrum, you are distracted often, right? You say things out of line. You say like absurd shit, like overall like fundamentally distraction, and like your dopamine levels are also fucked, right? He said like you were like easily more distracted to like Instagram and shit like that, right? So he said all these cons, right? So since I want to, and like even deeper into the pros, these attributes that I explained earlier, right, of all the positive things, he said like Mr. Beast has this. Oh, he said the CEO of Virgin Airlines has this, right? Richard Branson. If you don't know Richard Branson, look him up, right? All these, Airrack had this, right? All these people I looked up to, and I was like, oh my God, these people have this? I must have this too, so that I could become like them, so therefore I have ADHD, right? And like I labeled myself with this. I identified with that. Okay, and so then what happened, right, was I started taking the cons of this, and I was like, holy shit, this is bad. And so like I was like, oh my gosh, I'm always distracted, and so like I started like not working and not focusing on different things, right? And so then what this occurred and happened, and like it kept manifesting in my life, and I was like, what the fuck? What is going on? Why? And like then I ended up getting tested, right? I ended up getting tested for this, and it turned out I have like ADHD tendencies, but I don't actually have ADHD. And so like I told the story. Let me now jump out of the story and like explain that story to you. So what occurred here was I further identified with something like this, right? And like, this is personally like my opinion on this shit, but like people with like depression, anxiety, like all this different bullshit, like they just label and identify with that, right? And for me, what I recognized was I identified with this, and it turned into like a hyper negative, right? But like this was just like a multiple set of beliefs, right? For instance, I believe I have ADHD. I believe this because deeper, like Mr. Beast has it. Eric has it. Richard Branson has it. I believe in Healthy Gamer because he's a doctor. So like this is an ethos fallacy, right? I believe, and like I had all these beliefs around ADHD. So fundamentally I broke it down and I went into this and I killed all of these things. I was like, no, but like Mr. Beast, yeah, like maybe he said he has it, but like who was the source of that? And I looked into it and I was like, it was just somebody who was like shilling, I swear like that fucking article was like somebody selling like a course on how to fix your ADHD, right? Or not even like how to fix your ADHD, but like how to use ADHD to your advantage or some shit like that, right? It was like all marketing. And then I looked at the AirRack and like same exact principle, and like I looked at Healthy Gamer and I was like, the ethos of this, as like a separate principle, but then the ethos of this is that Healthy Gamer was actually saying that to unwire people later on, but like I believed in the actual ethos that he had, right? And all these other beliefs, and I fixed in there, and I went in and I fixed all of them, and then therefore I started like not using this label on me, and no longer do I have any of these cons now. I literally do not get distracted. I am hyper focused. I have all the pros. I have everything here that's good, and yet I don't have anything that's bad. Right? And so that's why the concept of identity matters so much, and that's how it ties the game avatar thing. Because now I don't slap ADHD onto me, and then I don't have the I only have the, or I kept all the positives, but then I said no, not negatives. I swat it all out. Some people do this with like extroversion, introversion, right? Are you really an introvert? And so like you can't sell and you can't do XYZ, you can't XYZ, or like are you just labeling yourself with that? Right? So you're just like using labeling. When I say labeling, it's like you're just calling yourself that. And so that's why I don't use fucking labels, G. And so anyway, then you, once again, the why this is because you don't exist. And then you could shift all these different beliefs. And great. So now that we explain identity and how identity is just a bunch of makeup of beliefs, and therefore if you rewire all your beliefs and a few of your beliefs, then you can rewire your identity as well. Now, you could get into how to rewire these beliefs, which is once again, I explained the best of both worlds thing, right? Where I said, I am all the pros whilst none of the cons. That was one of the frameworks that I taught you. The other framework for belief rewiring is basically you going in and saying like, I'll do this ADHD thing again, right? I believe I have ADHD. I believe I have ADHD. Instead you say, no, I don't believe I have ADHD. And then you use Socratic reasoning here by utilizing the 5 whys framework by saying, why do I not? Why do I not? Why do I not? And you keep digging deeper and deeper. Like I did it here, right? Earlier I did it here. I said, why do I not have ADHD? Well, because I'm not like fully like Mr. Beast. And I was like, why? Or not even like not fully like Mr. Beast, but like you go in and analyze like, okay, why did I first believe that I have ADHD? Because like I believe that Mr. Beast had ADHD. Why did I believe that Mr. Beast had ADHD? Oh, because this article. And then I first principle analyze like, is this article real? No, it was because of the course thing. And then like I analyzed this, and then like I used the 5 whys then to beat it out and then to kill it. Fucking murder it. Murder the shit belief. Okay? And then from there, also language patterns. This is how you also catch the beliefs live. So you're like now wondering, right? You must be wondering like, okay, I know how to rewire these beliefs. I understand the beliefs are shit. I understand that they're like a makeup of identities, and like how I would fix them is through like changing the game avatar. And then I understand that, all right, well, how do I rewire these beliefs? Through like the inverse, whatever, right? And like you're like, how then do I figure out what beliefs that I have, what are they that I have that are shit, okay? And so then you catch them through this. All right? So humans often say, I should, must, have to, try to, and there's like a few others that I actually remember when I was talking about the word database. So guess what? We're going to use it now. The word database of things in your vocabulary, words in your vocabulary that you should delete. Not just like in the way you speak it, but like the vocabulary that is utilized in your mind, because oftentimes people think with words. Okay, so when I'm thinking, like I often walk around, right? I walk around and I go like, oh, I should work out today. Oh, I should do 50 outreaches to growth operating creators today. Oh, I should do that funnel today. Oh, I should shoot that VSL today, right? That is you saying should, right? And what is should? Should is the vocabulary of inaction. You saying that I should do it or whatever, right? Instead, you flip that to say, I will. You either will or you won't. You either do or you don't. You should never have, must, should, need, ought to, want to, or try to. From Alex Hermosi. Jesus Christ. And so, like this, number one is like you flipping that. But here's the thing, this is how you catch those beliefs as well. Because when you utilize that word, this is a symptom of the root cause. It's like this is like the pore sticking out of your face, and like the root cause of that is like you not eating correctly. Therefore, you have acne, right? Things like that. Or another analogy is like, let's say you have like, you're like hurting on your back, right? On your back, and like you recognize that that's the symptom, and the root cause is like you have fucking cancer on your back, right? Things like that. And so when you say I should, right, that comes out because number one, right, like you literally should do it, and like you will do it, right? Like you could rewire you saying like, I will do it, but like sometimes you can't. But like you can, it's not that you can't, it's that you believe that you can't, right? And so then you dig deep using Socratic reasoning, the 5 whys. You say, okay, well, why do I believe that I should do it? Why do I believe that whatever, right? So I'll do it with a tangible example. So for instance, you say oftentimes, like people say, I should do 50 outreach today, right? But I can't. Right? And then you dig deeper into this. Well, why do you believe that you should? Huh? Well, then oftentimes people say, well, I believe that I should because it will get me money. Right? And then, oh yeah, okay, so that's not like really the question. It should be more like, why do you believe that you should, but why do you believe that you cannot? Because when you say should, it infers that you cannot. But then it's not that you cannot, it's that you believe that you cannot, right? Therefore, so why do you believe that you cannot? Well, it's like, well, it's because I have to go to school. These are like more valid reasons. But then oftentimes people say like, well, it's because I don't have like 50 leads. Well, why do you believe that you cannot find 50? Or it's like, then you ask them like, can you find 50 leads? Yes. Well, why do you believe that you cannot find 50 leads? Right? Then you say, well, I believe that I cannot find 50 leads because they're just not out there. Well, are they just not out there, or is it that you're not trying hard enough? Well, yeah, I'm not trying hard enough. Oh shit. Well, isn't the problem not that you believe that you cannot do 50 outreaches per day, but it's that you believe that you cannot try. Well, yeah, why do you believe that you cannot try? Then you dig even deeper. Well, because I have a school today. Then like you look at this, and then like now we get to like the deeper reason, right? You first principle think that, where you're like, okay, you have school, but like why do you believe that school will prevent you from finding those 50 leads? Well, it's because at school I don't have XYZ time, right? So people say like, all right, then I'm like, yo, well, break down your day for me. Well, in the morning from 7 to 3 I have school. And then we're like, why do you believe that you cannot do work from like 3 to 10? Well, because from 3 to 5, I have like fucking sports, right? Let's say it's basketball, like badminton, like whatever it is, right? Well, then from 5 to 10, don't you have time? And they're like, yeah, I do. And they're like, well, then you go like, why do you believe that you cannot do it in the next 5 hours? Well, because like I have my parents that I have to hang out with and like my phone that I have to go on and like XYZ. And I was like, well, like here's a problem. Right? Here's the problem. And you rewire like this belief of like why you should go on your phone. And like there's so many fucking beliefs that go down here, right? But fundamentally it ends up being like a lot of more root problems. So like I'll fucking end this in a tangible example where like they go, well, isn't it that your problem is that you're going on your phone? And then you tell them like, hey, go stop going on your phone, delete all the apps on there, and that will fix the root cause of like all the way up here, right? All the way up here of like why you believed that you couldn't, because fundamentally it was from your phone that was preventing you, right? That you couldn't do the 50 outreaches per day because you believe that you should go on your phone when in reality you don't need to. Right? And then that entirely deletes this entire line of logic. And so what I did there, that framework, right, where I said, why do you believe that you cannot? Why do you believe that you cannot? Why do you believe that you cannot? And the vocabulary that I used there with belief, right? Use that on yourself. Right? Saying like, hey, you catch the belief up here, then you say, why do you believe that you cannot? Why do you believe that you cannot? And then you keep digging and deeper until you fix the core actual root problem. Great, awesome, move on. And then once again, labels, as I explained earlier, right? Labels are scary, right? ADHD, things like, even like race, it works. Like sometimes like I would think like Koreans, right? Because I'm Korean personally, right? Since I'm Korean, maybe other people won't trust me. Or even like, okay, like this is not to be like race or anything, but like you, I've seen this a lot in my like school community where like you growth operators who are Indian, you believe that you cannot because you're Indian or that because you have the Indian accent. Guess what? Or like Indian accent or like whatever foreign accent, right? Guess what? The thing is, have other Indians in the growth operating space succeeded? Like, think about like infinity. This is why you need to understand the concept of infinity. Like, all the people in the world, don't you think that one of them must have succeeded? Well, why? So then, is it that you cannot say it, or is it that someone has succeeded? So like you just don't see that person who has actually succeeded with the Indian accent and growth operating yet. And you look at them and you're like, hey, well, like that person has succeeded. Well, isn't it that you can do it too, right? And that's like one little example of like multiple different things. But like then you're sitting there and you're asking like, all right, well, I want to see this Indian growth operator who has succeeded with this, right? And you're like, well, do you need to see the anecdote? And this is where like first principle thinking comes in, right? Do you need to see the anecdote, or can you just first principle assume through the infinity concept that one person must have done it? Then you go, oh wait, the reality is that one person must have done it, therefore I can do it. So like fundamentally it was just a belief of like race, right? And there's like a bunch of other labels that go into that, right? Korean, Indian, race, male, female, right? Labels around even like being like, honestly, like I'm like whatever you think about like gay, like lesbian, whatever, but like even gay, lesbian, like those are labels, right? These are identities that you hold within yourself, right? Even fucking, I don't even know, like all the labels that exist out there, right? You have to delete all of those because the labels are just beliefs, and you have to delete all of those, and then you have to readjust beliefs around there, and then you can build your game avatar to actually succeed once again. Okay, great. Moving on, even the limbic system within here is in the mental awareness level of like the fundamental things that you go about oftentimes maybe suffering in life for, right? Let's say like you have, holy shit, it's getting hardcore in here. Let's say you like keep jerking off. Holy shit, I'm not gonna draw a dick here. But like you keep jerking off, right? This is your limbic system. And so like you have to recognize this and you have to catch this. This is also belief, right? Well, why do you jerk off? Do you believe that you need to? Right? Well, do you need to? Right? And all these different things. Okay, this is not a good example. But limbic system within, let's say like sleep. Right? Do you, okay, how could I explain limbic system? This is a tough one. This is a really tough one. Limbic system, sleep, shelter, food. Okay, here's a good one. For food. All right, so this is like a big problem for me personally, that I honestly sometimes still go through, right? Because I believe oftentimes that I need to keep eating when I'm hungry, right? But like, do I actually need to? No, I don't. I can believe, right, that I can eat and be productive. But oftentimes, and this is like kind of wired by my mom constantly saying that you need to eat to be productive. And like, she kept telling me that, until like I believe that. Right? And so like recently I've been trying to rewire this and fix this by saying, no, I don't need to, because like Andrew Tate, for instance, right? He believes that when you don't eat and like you are in that state of hunger, then you're able to execute on business a lot better. And you could be a demon in business. And like, since he believes that, that manifests into his life, and therefore he can be a demon whilst he's hungry. Whereas for me, when I'm hungry, I have that belief, and therefore your brain, like, it short circuits and it's like, no, don't be productive, and like you stop being productive because you're hungry. Right? When like that is fake. Like me and Andrew Tate, since we have those different beliefs, that it manifests into our life. And so this honestly I'm trying to fix. And like you only fix these through education, right? You understand the education of like the true, and when I say education, I mean like learning first principles, right? First principles of up here. And how they dig into this right here, right? And even like weight, right? When I was like fat and when I got to skinniness, right? I believed that I should be fat, right? I believed that I needed to keep eating, right? And that's how I was able to fix that, and that's how I got skinny, right? By fixing all those fucking shit beliefs in my mind, even within productivity, fixing your digital workspace. Holy shit, there's another big topic. Fixing your physical workspace and fixing your things like this. I'm gonna go into roughly deeply or roughly real soon, but like for instance here, right? Holy shit. For instance here, like my physical, my digital workspace is fixed, right? Literally everything's clean here. And a great video that you could learn about this is Charlie Morgan. And he talks about how he was productive, right? He talks about how he was productive right here. My daily schedule right here. So he talks about it in there, steal that. But that's kind of what I copied to like make my computer nice and clean. And up here, even like apps like this is an app called, this is an app called Bartender, right? Bartender like closes that so that there's less things to distract me here, and that's like the energy principle. I don't even want that there because it wastes my mental energy, right? Like a little bit of energy. Right? Remember that energy drawing that I showed you to even look at this, right? Even things like having my bookmarks super clean, right? Even having like Instagram. Look, I go to Instagram. All I have is, first of all, I'm logged out. Then when I log into my Instagram, here, I'm gonna log into my Instagram real quick. Right, anyway, even when I'm logged into my Instagram, right? Like, look. Oh shit, it was on here, but let's say we press this and you click this, right? And you reload. So basically what I've done is with uBlock Origin, you're able to code it. You're able to code things to remove different parts of the fucking computer app. So if obviously, for instance, like I'll show you my phone later, but like my phone, no Instagram, no YouTube, and like I'll show you how fucking extreme I've gone on my phone, right? But on Instagram, on my computer, for instance, like literally there are no apps. Right, like there are no little things here. So for instance, like the reel section is gone, all those sections are gone. Even when I save info, right, like the feed is fucking deleted, it's gone, right? And then all I use Instagram for is kind of like to check my notifications now. And even when I click on my face, like I've removed all my numbers here, so I can't even see it. So like I don't get the stimuli. I wasn't able to figure out how to delete these, so therefore like the photos are here. If you don't follow me though, follow me at TimHU on Instagram. Anyway, I've YouTube, right? I've coded it so that all the side bars are removed, right? Literally the entire feed is gone, and all I could utilize is my pocket tube here to organize my YouTube playlist. Like, oh my god, such a saver. Check out pocket tube. But anyway, and then yeah, like literally that's all organized on Twitter. Like, so unfortunately, like, I cannot log out of YouTube because it's logged into Google, right? I fucking wish I could log out of YouTube, right? Twitter, logged out, as you'll see right here, logged out, boom. And then, like, all the other apps, right? And then the apps that I utilize to do that are, like, DF YouTube, that removes the YouTube feed. Newsfeed Eradicator, I use uBlock Origin as well as Undistracted. Like, I combine all these apps together just so, like, I have, like, quadruple security so I don't get distracted. Anyway, then I clean my MacBook, right? And then on my phone, right? So for instance, all black screen so that I don't get dopamine stimuli when I open my phone, right? I open this and I have to type a long ass password, right? I have a word password. I don't even have Face ID, so that I don't unnecessarily, like subconsciously open my phone. And then from there, I go into my phone, like there's nothing. The home screen is gone, right? And then even like this portion where like there's like notifications here, gone. Here, I just have my apps all unorganized so that they're all bullshit. And I'll show you all my apps. Like I don't have any of the bullshit apps. Like you'll see it. Like you could pause this and then see it. Like I don't have any of the bullshit apps. It's all like utility apps that I need, right? And I even went as far as to go into settings, and unfortunately there's no way to do this. Like you could press focus mode, but then I've recognized that when I press focus mode and I unpress focus mode, that I find myself further distracted if I unpress focus mode and like I get my notifications all flooded at me at once. So rather what I do is like I just break the notification. I go to the first principle of what the core of the problem is and I solve it, which is I literally went into every single application. So 1Password doesn't have it, but like I went into Bolt. Bolt is like an Uber for the Asia, right? And I went to notifications, right? And it's off. All my notifications are off. And I fucking done this manually for all like my 20 apps. I went in there. I only have like 20 apps. I went in there and like I turned off all the notifications manually, so I never get a freaking single notification, right? And so this is also in the mental awareness place where like you have the self-awareness to like become productive, right? Clear your entire workspace. Like my entire physical workspace, like super clean, right? If you, like, I'll put up a picture right now of where I'm working right now at Yellow. Like, I'm literally against the wall, so I don't see anything in my vicinity, right? My table's super white, super clean. Like, the entire workplace is super duper clean. Even like my stuff right now, right? Like, I have a black mouse. Everything I own is black. Black shirt, even my microphone. I don't have my keyboard right now, but I'll show my keyboard's on the screen, right? Everything is black, so I don't have the mental bandwidth. It doesn't take the mental bandwidth. Like if I had white shit, for instance, if there's a stain, right? I would recognize that, oh my gosh, there's a stain on the white thing, I should remove that. And like I worried about that. I'm like, maybe I should buy another Mac fucking mouse, like things like that. Even my shoes. I intentionally have black shoes, right? So that I don't get distracted if there's a stain on it, right? All these different things that I've hyper-optimized in my life so that I don't get distracted. And yeah, it doesn't waste my mental bandwidth. Once again, sleep, very important. Exercise, diet. Even I'm like setting up on this and biohacking. So to be honest, not much of a professional there, so I can't really speak on that. But then once again, productivity, working in seasons, right? Seasons of years, hours, days, and then like my to-do list. So you can see it. I honestly don't have time to explain this anymore. So I'm just to like press it and then show it to you. So this is my entire system on how my day works. So I basically press this and then this is my entire day. You could find this doc, or you could. I'm gonna tell you how you guys get this doc. So that'll be down here. But yeah, once you get the doc, then you could look at how my day looks, and you could even steal the system right here. And so overall, let me know if you saw some shit here, right, that you wanted me to explain. I will feel free to comment down below, and like I'll explain those concepts to you, right? In another video, right? So let me know about that and how you can get this doc, as well as basically like on my YouTube channel, if you check it out here. So if you look at my YouTube channel, basically like I have a 5-hour course here. It's entirely free. It's entirely free. I'm not literally not even selling anything, right? And you go down here, you go to Tim Yoon school. Like basically here in the classroom section, I talked a lot about growth operating today, right? Growth operating is like one of the best business models again to right now. And like if you're another business model, like who cares? Like don't go into growth operating, right? Because of the rule of energy, right? Don't stay and like focus in your business model right now. But like if you want to look at growth operating, because genuinely it's a fucking crack business model, then like basically I have like an entire course, like free entire course, explaining to you how to do like how to get appointments, how to niche pick like 750 literally leads down here, a full sales script, Instagram DM script, full growth operating course for like 5 hours, and then basically like from this growth operating course, I was able to like synthesize a lot of resources over here, as well as this doc I'm going to add over here for entirely free that I showed you right here. So yeah, all of that shit, feel free to join the school right here, link in the description, so that you can go and access all of that. All right, that's pretty much it.